I don't think, firstly, I don't think Israel is going to win this year. I actually think they're going to get less televote than last year for a number of reasons I've said before. The Iran war is extremely unpopular everywhere. Firstly, there are no more hostages. Noam Batan does not have the backstory that Yuval and Eden, well, less so Eden, had. We're not in the sort of active, there are Israeli hostages in Gaza phase of it anymore. I think, so maybe 220 from the televote or so. At the same time, in the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to stop thinking this, how embarrassing, it is for them that, this song contest is so important to you. It's the only way you can manufacture any kind of consent or approval, pretend there's some kind of approval, widespread for you internationally, that you cheat and cheat and cheat, and you push the voting system to its limits, and you activate the sort of grassroots political campaigns, and lots of countries have these grassroots political campaigns, so I'm not saying it's only Israel that has them, though most of them are not for countries that participate in Eurovision. The fact that I sort of look at it and I think, wow, you guys are really pathetic and pitiful. And I actually think, firstly, we should continue to say it's a disgrace that Israel is still in Eurovision, because that's what it is. And I think there's probably, and I'm going to make another video about this before Eurovision, but I think we should also say how unbelievably pathetic and embarrassing, how small-minded, what a small mentality, that your priority, that your president's priority is this song contest. Now, Eurovision is important, and I'll be the first to admit that. But I don't think they've realized what they've done. Because of their actions, just in a competitive sense of the contest, no one will ever see any success they ever have in this contest as legitimate under any circumstances. There will always be an asterisk over it. They've tried to kill this contest, and they might yet succeed. Who knows what's going to happen in May. But they will, as long as they are in Eurovision now, if the contest continues and they remain in it, they will always be seen as the country that tried to cheat to win, as the country that threw millions at it. And everyone's going to, most people are going to look at it and roll their eyes and go, wow, how embarrassing. How utterly embarrassing. And there was an editorial in Haaretz, which is an Israeli newspaper, saying, actually, we should have withdrawn. Because this whole act, this whole shtick that they've got going on now is just, it's humiliating to themselves. I've spent so much time being angry about it. And now I just look at it and I go, honestly, I have so much secondhand embarrassment for you. What a pathetic, sniveling, just utter sour farce that this has become. How low will you drag everyone else? How much will you force everyone else to debase themselves, to try and find a little shard of victory in amongst the total trashing of your reputation internationally? How low will you go? We still haven't found the
embarrassing part. The most embarrassing part is they couldn't even win. They still didn't. They cheated. They still couldn't win. So there was no point. You spent all of this money for what?
Yeah, and I genuinely think people who genuinely like this song, who are apolitical, and lots of people do come into this show apolitically, might not vote for it because they'll go, oh well, they keep cheating. Because now the narrative that they have cheated in the public vote, which is obviously, in my opinion, whether you call it cheating or manipulating, there's obviously those words mean different things. If the manipulation is proven, the cheating is speculation. I think people are going to go, oh, well, they're messing with the results. I don't want to vote for them. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all know the risk for Eurovision, right? Number one, the fact that they're even here is a disgrace. We've lost a bunch of countries that we shouldn't have lost. The way in which fans have been alienated, all to defend Israel's place in the contest. And what I will say is my argument, I've kind of reached the point where I've realized the interests of the contest and the interests of the European Broadcasting Union are now so far apart from each other. The thing that the EBU will never do, because this contest is their crown jewel, it needs to be spun off into a separate organization that is autonomous, that makes decisions for itself, so it can make decisions that are in the best interest of the contest. Because the objective, clear thing that was for the best for the contest would have been to remove Israel, at least for this year. And I think a lot of fans, including all of us who are extremely critical of Israel's place in the contest, would have tolerated, even if it was a temporary thing where they said, we're saying for this year, you can't come. Or even, to be honest, if they said an Israeli act can perform as an interval. I think a lot of people would have rolled their eyes and gone, ugh, stupid that we're still appeasing them in some way, but at least they're not competing. I don't know why no action was taken. I do know why no action was taken. And it's because and thank you, Kyle Alessandro Hive says, I think the streams it's getting is to combat the New Day will rise, no streams narrative. I wonder how many of them are actual streams. Well, yeah, this is the thing. The well's been poisoned. Everything from Israel now in the contest will always look fake. So well done, guys. You did that to yourselves. I am just angry and frustrated by all of this, as we all are. There's going to be a lot more conversation about this. But yeah. In conclusion, honestly, fuck this. Shouldn't be here. We're all fed up of you, and the European public is getting fed up of you too. I really, really, really hope that, because now, if they do badly, it looks way worse for them. So I really hope that somehow they flop, and it makes everyone go, oh, wow, everyone really hates Israel now. That would be beautiful. Let's move on.